and comfortable, body relaxing on the floor. Take a moment for your muscles to just settle down, especially letting the breath just ease. Each breath carrying away stress, carrying away tension, anything we've been up to recently. It's like we're starting in a fresh place. And so from that place, we start to connect with our intention for our class today. I like to have a little intention in each class. Gives our mind something to focus on and send energy toward. And so the big intention that I was thinking of for today's class is focusing on our hip chakra area. The hip chakra, that one's an interesting place because there's a ton of hormones associated with that area. And those hormones affect people at all stages of life, whether it's going through PMS each month or whether it's going through menopause. Those hormones in that sacral chakra, you end up noticing influence a lot, especially if you're female, but also everybody. And so for today, that's going to be our major focus, sacral chakra. That means we'll do plenty of hip openers, get the body nice and open in that area. And just imagine by sending lots of energy to that area, our hormones, our mood, our just ability to connect with others in a passionate way and connect with life in a passionate way. Imagine all of this is strengthened and fortified. And so that'll be our big intention for our class today. And naturally we hit upon other goodies as we go along the journey. And so with that to help lead us on, let us begin. We'll start off with knees coming into the chest. And with knees to chest, start off just taking easy circles. Hip circle over to the left and around. Hip circling to the right and around. Easy movements, allowing us to connect with this area. From here, we're going to release the left leg long to ground, let it rest. Hands clasp around this right knee. Take a moment to pull right knee in, close to right shoulder. Feel how it massages that groin area. Back the knee off for a moment. Keep the hands clasped around it. And we're now pulling that right knee toward left shoulder. So it comes across the body. This one doesn't go very far in depth, but you can feel it really nicely in the outer hip area. Give that spot some space. And same thing, back off, but keep the hands clasped. Circle that knee as wide as it can go. And we're gonna hug it into that last angle, pulling it in maybe to that right bicep angle. Beautiful. So as hands release the clasp, we're going to take 3 nice circles. This knee comes partially across the body into partial twist. And then let the knee open right back out where it was, nice and wide. Each hand supports the knee as it goes off to its respective side. Take at least 3 of those gentle switches across the body and then open back wide. After doing all three, let the knee stay across the body in a nice twist. More than anything else, in the twist, be conscious of how the twist is affecting the hip. So yes, it opens back. Yes, it opens the sacral area and the waist, and the shoulder, all sorts of goodies. But more than anything, try to allow the exact angle that we're pausing at to open the hip. Allow knee to rise back up, and then take it into half happy baby, right hand to outside of right foot. Space for new opening to happen. Know you're welcome to stay in stillness as we're here for a few more breaths. You could also introduce movement, gentle rocking of that hip, or even straightening and bending of leg up to sky. It's all personal preference, whatever helps, especially this hip. A bit of patience. Another good inhale. With our exhale, release. This right leg slowly, gradually travels all the way back down to ground. Once it's relaxed, open in that shape. Allow our left knee to come into chest, hands clasp around that knee. From that clasp, we can pull the knee closer and closer to left shoulder. That's the first angle. Give that spot a couple of breaths. Backing off a little bit. Left knee tries to work its way toward right shoulder. This is the one that doesn't actually travel far, but it's really good at opening outer hip. Last angle, knee goes wide toward left bicep. I'll get into that side. Cycles, the knee travels up and over across body, partial twist, and then eventually ease the knee all the way open back to left. Your own pace for 2 more full rounds. After you finish all 3, let the knee cross over the body. Gentle twist. Find the angle that helps the hip feel like it's open. ready to open that knee back out. Take it to half happy baby on that side. Left hand grabbing for outside of left foot. Your choice, maybe you're rocking around. Maybe you're holding in stillness. Maybe you're straightening and bending. Listen to the hip. What would be most useful? One more huge inhale. Nice relaxed exhale. With an easy release, let's allow our body to make its way up to a seated place. Whatever way you'd like to get there. Once we're here, easy cobbler pose. You choose how close or how far the feet are. Spine just gets this easy chance to relax up and over. Spine starts to lift back up. Let's set up the baby cradle. So left leg can stay in on the ground. Right hands support this. The hands support the right shin. So hand at knee, hand at foot, or maybe a hug a little bit deeper. And then let yourself take some baby rocks. Just cradling, rocking that hip out. Really try to feel if you can get to the extremity. Sometimes if I just kind of rock, it's an easy action for my hip. But if I really try to go to the edges, all the way across, all the way back, for me, I can feel just a little bit more. Good. So keep going until it feels like you've kind of loosened the tightness there. And then at that point, this left knee comes upright so that we can rest right ankle onto it. You've got choices here, what to do to open it out. So you could just lean back and press the right hand into the right knee along the hip to open that way. If you need a little bit more, left foot sliding closer is a way to get just a little bit deeper. For some people, a balance of hugging around the shin is possible, but don't force it if that's not what wants to happen. We're here, think of all the hips do for us every day. They're absolutely integral in us walking, moving, getting place to place. They also help us even just sitting. Every little thing that we do, we kind of can connect to the hips. Good. So if the hands came up at all, bring them behind. Let this unit fall, tilting all the way over to the left. And then opposite, fall all the way, tilting over to the right. Beautiful. Release. Before we take second side, open the legs out wide. Just slide the hands forward and through. So as hands work back in, we're taking second half. So right leg can just rest. The cradle out left, rocking. And remember, maybe we're going a little bit further than we normally rock. A time to really ease through that joint as much as it feels appropriate. You're welcome to stay a little bit longer, especially if you're easing tight stuff out. When it feels useful, you can flip the right knee up and rest that left ankle onto it. Choosing the variation that works here. Maybe just lean back and push on that left knee. Maybe the right foot slides closer, maybe the full hug. All sorts of variations, just whatever works. Easy breaths. Imagine your breath is connecting clear down to that hip. Just deep, deep and full. So now hands behind if they lifted it all. Tilt the legs over to right. And switch it. Tilt the legs over to left. Similar thing as we start to release, open out wide and slide forward and through. Maybe there's a new depth available. Huge breath in. Nice exhale. Easing ourselves back up. Take the legs underneath the body. We're coming to a nice kneeling spot. So from kneeling, the first thing we're going to do is a very minimal cat-cow. It's just focused on how the sacrum feels. So the sacrum itself tucks under, so it's like tailbone tuck, when the sacrum arches back. So just very minimal. We'll gradually increase the movement to include more. At first, just a couple of rounds with that hip area. Rocking as far as you can tuck under, as far as you can tuck back. More like that. And then allow it to go into a normal cat cow. The rest of the spine gets to round up and down. So that increase in mobility for the rest of the spine, also helping the hips out. Notice those hips are still arriving, just as exaggerated. Beautiful. And then one more step up, walk the hands just a little further forward so your shoulders can go over the wrists. From that spot, lower hips down just a little, doesn't have to be a full cobra. And then send the hips back into child. Let yourself take a few rounds like that. It doesn't have to be very fast, but a variation of cobra, maybe the toes even lift up, your choice. And all the way back to child. Feel like it's the hips that are leading you. And to explore their full range of motion as they're part of a unit with the spine and the legs. Beautiful. We'll take one more full cycle. A few bonus breaths to rest in child when you finish that last one. A huge inhale, exhale, make our way back up to kneeling. So from here, we'll do a little bit of strengthening for a lot of those muscles surrounding the hips. So we start off with right leg going straight back behind us. No worries, everybody's adjusting. Go ahead and take a moment. Okay, so right leg hovering hip height straight back behind us. The first muscular strengthening here is toes tap the ground and then toes lift up just however high you can. So take 5 and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now stay at the hip height, keeping the hips square like this so hips are not shifting to hike up. You're swinging the leg like a pendulum as far to the left and as far to the right as it can go. Another 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then one more. Go ahead and hike the hip up. So it's almost like a half moon. And then 5 kicks as far toward shoulder area as you can. 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that foot off to the side. It's a straight leg. We rise up to a high kneeling spot. The toes can be forward or to the side, whatever feels better for the ankle. And then slide the right hand down the right leg. Left hand gets a chance to stretch up and over. Give those side ribs a couple more breaths. Beautiful. When we rise back up, a half camel, I like to tuck the back toes, giving me a couple of extra inches. Left hand goes to that left heel. Right hand up to sky. Take the back bend. That only goes easy as the spine wants. Go ahead and drop down to elbows. If you ever need more, you can inch your elbows a little closer to the straight leg. Okay, come back up to hands. Drop the right knee down. We're that neutral kneeling spot. So left leg slides back, hip height behind. And first it's the up and down action. So toes touch the ground and heel lifts up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hip stays square, leg is at that hip height, and then you pendulum swing to the right and to the left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hip hikes, and then 5 kicks. So side 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Land that foot directly off to the side, up to the high spot. And we're sliding left hand down, left leg, legs open over. More breath, let it flow in. Out. High kneeling, right hand for right heel. Make the connection. And if that's ever too far, just bring hand to low back instead, that's fine. But left hand up and over. Little arch for the spine. Good, and then finally lower down to elbows. It's gonna be easy, feel the hips relax. If you ever need a little bit more, inch the elbows closer to the shin. One more huge inhale. Nice exhale. Our way back up to hands. Lower the knee down. We'll set up for downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, slowly lift the hips up to the highest possible space. And then from there, if there's little wiggles that want to happen, so we're helping our flexibility out, go ahead and take them. One of those down dogs that you can stay if it's still feeling useful, or at any point come up to the top of the mat in a forward fold when you're ready. No rush to get there, just when you're ready. Relaxing down for one more huge breath cycle. Nice inhale. Exhale. Following inhale helps us rise. Exhale down to heart. So let's set up big toes close, heels slightly separated. That helps to keep our knees from knocking in and out from one another. So instead, inner thighs can just squeeze. So let's sit back into a fierce pose. Let's drop hands to knees. So taking that aspect out for a little while. And then similar to the first cat-cow, play with how much you can tuck your tailbone under, and then how much you can stick your butt back, arching the low back. Take another 4. And back. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Try to find the middle spot, not like kind of halfway in between those two extremes. And then go just a hair closer toward the tucked spot. So from here, releasing hands, take the arms up by the ears. Imagine grabbing something and then pulling the elbows into the ribs. Inhale, featherlight, float back up. 4, 3, 2. One more huge inhale. Exhale, pull. Heel toe as we straighten the legs up, heel toe the feet about as wide as the mat. And just let the spine roll back to that low back release. Allow the right foot to slide to the back of the mat, and then lower the right knee down. We'll take a couple of breaths in different positions. So this first position is lizard, so you can stay on wrists. If anybody wants to lower one elbow down to block or floor, or maybe both elbows, you're welcome to. Really feel the sensation of that right hip trying to drop and release down. Back up to hands if we lowered. Allow the left hand to twist open through the side and reach back. If you want to grab the back toes with that left hand, that's fine. Not everybody can make it there, so no pressure. Good. Return left hand down. Pick up the back knee, slide the right foot forward, and the left foot back. So switch for our legs. Into lizard, sink hips forward, maybe drop down to one or both elbows. Left knee is welcome to rest on ground. Up to hands if we lowered. Right hand opens through the side. Your choice if you're grabbing the back toes. Good. The release, we tuck the back toes, lift the knee. And then slide that left foot back up to the top of the mat. We're going to try to take Malasana squat. If you need to sit on block instead, that's fine. But the knees and the toes turn outward. Try to slide the elbows in to the inner knees so that when the hands in prayer position travel down, it helps to push the hips open. Good. Feel if the low back is able to straighten and elongate the spine just a little taller. One more huge inhale. Nice exhale. Fingers can lower down, toes turn forward as we straighten the legs up. Soft bend to the knees, head rolls up. Circle the arms to the sky, arch open back. Hands to the heart. Beautiful. Taking the feet right back underneath us. We're going to try to balance with the right ankle coming up onto the left thigh. So take it all the way up. If that balance isn't happening, have the right toes just on the ground, helping to just give you a little kickstand. If you're here, bend the standing leg so it's like a little bit of a shelf. You could keep hands at heart. You could drop hands to that knee, helping to rotate that hip open just a little bit deeper. Beautiful. As we straighten standing leg, float this right knee. Try to kick it back with balance, warrior 3. And warrior 1. The back heel can be resting down. Huge inhale. And exhale, rotate open, warrior 2. Nice extended side angle, front elbow rests to front thigh, the other arm stretches toward mirror. To warrior 2 and reverse. So right hand to right leg, left hand open back. Beautiful. Back through warrior 2. Take a moment turning the toes open to 45-degree angles, goddess. And then press the hips open. Sitting the hips back. The spine gets to lean forward. Increase that opening. Beautiful. As we take our hands off, we need to stack the spine back upright. So still stay in the squat, just a teeny bit of arm strengthening. Open the arms out. Take 5 large arm circles to each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. So allow the legs to straighten. And then shift back toward warrior 1. So front knees bent, arms sweep up. From here, wind the right elbow under the left elbow, eagle's arms. And continue to try to lift the elbows up, tilting the spine back. Torso back upright. We're going to try to take warrior 3 with these eagle arms. So totally fine if the angle is low, the toes almost on the ground behind you. Totally fine to lift the right leg a little bit higher. Beautiful. Rising up in front of us, that right knee's bent. And then try to cross it over, whether the toes are on the ground or doing the eagles rapids, up to you. Good. One more huge inhale. Exhale, open everything up. Beautiful. Easy drop back down to side. So one more side. We're standing on right foot. Left ankle tries to come up. It's totally fine if you're playing with the kickstand. If you're up, standing leg bends. Maybe hands at heart, maybe hands helping to press that hip open. Rising up, float that left knee. Back warrior 3. Land warrior 1. Should be left foot back. And open up a nice warrior 2. Then good side angle. Reverse. Warrior two. Goddess. Take it first with that hip opener, rotating the thighs open, lean into it. You might enjoy a nice little spinal twist this next one. So right shoulder can dip down. And left shoulder. Beautiful. Let's come back up right to goddess. So legs are still strongly bent. Arms to each side. Let's do 5 more arm circles each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we straighten the legs, shift back forward, hips facing all the way to the front. Warrior one, arms sweep briefly up. This time left elbow tries to take the eagle's wrap. Left elbow under. A little bit of the arching of the heart up. And straightening of the spine. Try to take warrior three. Totally fine. The toes are balancing just up and off the ground. Balancing. Maybe tilting more. Good. Come upright. Left knee floating. And left knee trying to wrap over, whether it's kickstand on the floor or eagle's wrap. Huge breath in. One more. Exhale, release everything open. Good work. Let's take a little flow back. So inhale, circle up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. As you shift back, it can be child pose, down dog, or a flow, your choice. So let's float right leg up to sky. And we're gonna take it into pigeon pose. Right leg slides under and through. Make sure your sacrum's level, not rocking under one hip or the other. When you get yourself set up, if you'd like to drop to sleeping pigeon, that's beautiful. Hands. Rock your weight onto the right hip. Left leg swings around. Try to see if that left foot can cross to the outer right thigh. Okay, so spinal twist. Left hand grabs the knee, or sorry, right hand grabs the knee, left hand goes behind. Roll the spine open. Beautiful. And then from here, both hands plant over to the right side. And then let yourself lean as much over to that side as feels good for opening up the hips. So it might just be 2 bent elbows, maybe 1 elbow drops to floor, maybe both. Just feel yourself kind of pulling space away from that hip. Beautiful. Lifting up. Let's travel back to the down dog. One more side. You like to lift the left leg up before sending it through. That's great. The sacrum level when you get set up for the pigeon. If you'd like to lower sleeping pigeon, that's beautiful. More breath flows in and out. As you come up to hands, rock your weight onto left hip. Blessing. Right leg swings around. Try to cross it over if the knees are okay with that. And then spinal twist. Hook the left hand. Right hand goes behind. Remember to straighten the spine up before you continue to spiral over. Good. Unwind, plant both hands to left, and then lean any amount over to that left side to create a little bit more space for that hour. Maybe one elbow drops down. Maybe you've just got two bent elbows. Just let it lean as far over as feels good.
So we're gapping the head of the femur with the pelvis, right? Mm-hmm.
More breath in and out. And we're gazing back up. We're starting our transition towards Shavasana. So if there's last seated stretches you'd like or last leg stretches, go ahead and take them. Could be anything from happy baby to plow, anything that just feels good to help the body wrap up. No rush at all. Just take this at your own pace. Keep on moving, keep on stretching as long as your body needs any additional poses. This is your body and your mind finding this beautiful inner connection. As there will naturally be some people coming to Shavasana before others. In Shavasana, you have an option today perhaps to rest hands on the low belly, that sacral chakra area. For all this time we've spent helping those hips to open today, just imagine that presence of hands can help to send just a little bit more energy into that beautiful area, helping to keep the hormones happy, helping to keep passion balanced. Whether it's connection with ourselves, connection with others, or connection with life in general, passion for life. Whatever the things are that make our time worthwhile. And these good deep breaths, guiding us into this good Shavasana. Just rest for several minutes here, allowing body and mind, spirit, everything to integrate together. And a deepen inhales. Exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel helpful. Perhaps a fetal position off to one side. Eventually coming up to a comfortable seated place when you're ready. So here with hands at heart, we connect back to that sacral chakra one more time. And feeling that area at ease, calm, relaxed. We imagine that traveling forward, we can meet our daily challenges with much more ease. We can meet life with a little bit more passion. And so with all this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.